Right now, women are sending you a signal that means, I'm interested. Make a move. And you're missing it completely. Not just once or twice, every single time. By the time you finally realize what was happening, the window has shut, and she's moved on to a man who actually knows how to interpret the signs. I'm talking about a specific signal women give when they feel attracted and are ready for you to take the next step. It's not subtle. It's not hidden. It's right there in plain sight. But 95% of men are so focused on the wrong things that they overlook it entirely. Then they wonder why women lose interest or why they always wind up in the friend zone. Here's the crazy part. Women are literally telling you they want you to make a move. But they're not using words. They're using a signal that's been wired into female behavior for thousands of years. A signal so reliable that once you learn to spot it, you'll see it everywhere. And once you start responding to it the right way, your success with women will take off. The Stoics taught about focusing on what people do rather than what they say. Marcus Aurelius wrote about seeing reality clearly, without illusion. Well, here's the reality. Women communicate interest through actions, not words. And there's one specific behavioral signal that means, I'm ready for you to escalate, and most men are blind to it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what this signal is, why you keep missing it, how to recognize it instantly, and what to do when you see it. This will change everything about how you read women's interest. Pay close attention, because missing this signal is costing you opportunities every single week. Let's get into it. Here's the signal most men miss every time. Extended eye contact, followed by her looking away, and then looking back at you. Not just making eye contact. Not just glancing at you. But the specific sequence. She looks at you, holds eye contact for 2 or 3 seconds longer than normal social eye contact. Looks away. Then looks back to see if you're still watching her or if you're on your way over. This is the universal female signal for, I'm interested. I've given you the green light. Now it's your move. And brother, men miss this constantly because they're either not paying attention. They don't understand what it means, or they see it and freeze up, not knowing what to do next. Let me explain why this particular signal is so powerful and why it's the most reliable indicator of female interest you'll ever get. First, understand what's happening psychologically when a woman does this. Women don't approach men directly. It goes against thousands of years of evolutionary programming. Their role in courtship is to signal availability and interest. Then the man's role is to approach and pursue. This eye contact sequence is the clearest signal she can give without breaking that dynamic. When she holds eye contact longer than normal, she's violating a social norm. Normal eye contact in public is brief, maybe a second. When she holds it for 2 or 3 seconds, she's intentionally stretching it to communicate something. She's saying, I see you. I want you to notice me. I'm giving you an opening. Then she looks away. Why? Because holding eye contact indefinitely would be too forward, too aggressive. She's giving you room to process and respond. She's also managing her own nervous energy, because extended eye contact with someone you're attracted to creates tension. But here's the crucial part. She looks back. This is the confirmation. She's checking to see if you received her signal. Is he still looking? Is he coming over? Did he get the message? That second look is her verification that the signal was sent and received. If you're still looking when she looks back, especially if you smile or start moving toward her, she knows you got the message and she'll be receptive. But if you've already looked away or you're oblivious to the whole exchange, she assumes you're either not interested or too hesitant to act. Either way, the window closes. Now, let me explain why men keep missing this signal. First, most men aren't even watching for it. They're in their own heads, focused on their phones, talking to their friends, doing their own thing. They're not scanning their environment for signs of female interest. So women are sending this signal, and men are completely blind to it because they're not paying attention. Second, men who do notice it often don't grasp what it means. They think, "She made eye contact. That's nice." And they don't register it as a signal that demands action. They don't realize that the longer duration, the look away, and the look back form a sequence that means something specific. Third, men who recognize the signal often freeze because they don't know what to do next. They see it, they understand it means something, but they panic. Should I go over? What do I say? What if I'm wrong? And while they're overthinking, the moment passes, and she assumes rejection. Fourth, some men are so conditioned by modern dating culture to fear bothering women that even when they see clear signals, they talk themselves out of responding. Maybe she was looking at someone behind me. Maybe I'm misreading it. I don't want to be that creepy guy who assumes interest. So they do nothing. This is tragic because women are literally giving the green light, and men are sitting at the intersection too afraid to move. Let me give you specific contexts where this signal appears so you can start recognizing it. At bars or clubs. She's across the room or at the bar. You make brief eye contact. Nothing unusual. Then a few minutes later, you look over again, and she's already looking at you. She holds it, looks away, looks back. That's the signal. She's not staring into space. She's watching you, hoping you'll approach. At the gym, you've noticed each other a few times on different days. Then one day, she positions herself where you can see each other. When you look, she holds eye contact, smiles slightly, looks down at her phone or her workout, then glances back up to see if you're still looking. Signal sent. In coffee shops or public spaces, you're sitting across from each other or at nearby tables. She looks up from her laptop or book, makes eye contact, holds it just a beat too long, looks back down, then looks up again to check if you're still looking. That's her opening the door. In social situations or parties, you're in the same space, maybe introduced briefly or just aware of each other. She keeps finding reasons to be in your line of sight. When you make eye contact, she holds it, smiles, looks away to talk to her friend, then checks back to see if you're watching. She's setting herself up for an approach. The pattern is consistent across all contexts. Extended eye contact. Look away, look back. Once you know to watch for this sequence, you'll start seeing it everywhere, and you'll realize how many opportunities you've been missing. Now, let me tell you exactly what to do when you see this signal, because recognizing it is only half the battle. The other half is responding correctly and quickly. When you catch the extended eye contact, hold it. Don't look away immediately like you've been caught doing something wrong. Hold her gaze for those 2 to 3 seconds. This communicates confidence and mutual interest. You're not intimidated. You're engaged. When she looks away, this is your moment to decide. Are you going to approach or not? You have maybe 30 seconds to a minute before she looks back. If you're going to make a move, you need to do it now. Not in 5 minutes. Not after you finish your drink. No. When she looks back and you're already walking toward her, her brain floods with validation. He got the signal. He's confident. He's making a move. This creates an instant positive association. But if she looks back and you're still standing in the same spot, looking uncertain, the attraction starts dying immediately. Here's the approach. Walk over with confident body language, relaxed, not rushing, but not hesitating. Smile as you approach. Make eye contact. When you reach her, keep it simple and direct. Hey, I noticed you from over there, and I wanted to come say hi. I'm name. That's it. Simple, direct, honest. You're not using a pickup line. You're not trying to be clever. You're simply acknowledging the reality. You noticed each other. You're acting on that mutual interest. She'll almost always respond positively because you responded to her signal. She wanted you to approach. That's why she sent the signal. Now you're both on the same page, and the conversation can flow naturally from there. But here's what's critical. You need to approach within that narrow window. The signal has a shelf life. If you wait too long, if she looks back 2 or 3 times and you're still not making a move, her brain interprets this as rejection or timidity. Either you're not interested or you're too scared to act. Both kill attraction. I've seen men receive this signal 5, 6, 7 times from the same woman in one night and still not approach. By the end of the night, she's lost interest completely because his inaction has signaled low value and a lack of confidence. Now, let's talk about what happens in the conversation after you approach. Because this is where men often stumble, even after successfully reading and responding to the signal. When you approach, she's already interested. The signal proved it. Your job now is to not destroy that interest through nervous behavior or interview mode conversation. Keep it relaxed. Ask open-ended questions. Make observations. Be playful. Create emotional engagement rather than just swapping information. And watch for escalation signals within the conversation. If she's touching her hair, leaning in, laughing at things that aren't that funny, finding reasons to touch your arm, these are all green lights to escalate further. Ask for her number. Suggest moving to a different spot. Make plans to see her again. But if you just stand there having a pleasant conversation without moving things forward, you're wasting the opportunity her signal created. She gave you the initial green light. Throughout the conversation, she'll give you additional green lights for each escalation step. You need to be watching for them and acting on them. The Stoics taught about taking action when opportunity arises. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." The signal is the opportunity. Your preparation is knowing how to recognize it and respond. Your action is what creates the luck of a successful connection. Let me address the fear that stops men from acting on this signal even when they recognize it. What if I'm wrong? What if she wasn't actually signaling interest? Brother, here's the truth. If she's doing the extended eye contact, look away, look back sequence, you're not wrong. That's not accidental. Women don't hold eye contact with men they're not interested in. They don't check back to see if you're still looking unless they want you to still be looking. But let's say you somehow misread it. Let's say you approach and she wasn't actually interested. What's the worst that happens? She politely declines conversation. You say, "No problem, have a great night." And you walk away. That's it. The cost of being wrong is minimal. A minor awkward moment that will be forgotten in 5 minutes. But the cost of not acting when she was sending the signal? You miss a potential connection with someone who was actively trying to get your attention. You reinforce your own hesitation and fear. You stay in the same pattern of missing opportunities. That cost is much higher. And here's what most men don't realize. Even if she wasn't interested and you misread, she'll respect you more for having the confidence to approach than she'll judge you for misreading. Women understand that men have to take risks to create connections. They respect men who are willing to put themselves out there. What they don't respect is men who are too timid to act even when given clear signals. That communicates low value and kills any attraction that might have existed. So the calculation is simple. Very low cost for being wrong. Very high cost for not acting. And high reward if you're right. The rational choice is always to act on the signal. Now, let me give you the advanced level understanding of the signal, because there are variations and nuances that separate men who are good at reading women from men who are masters. The strength of the signal varies based on how many times she repeats it. If she does the sequence once and you don't respond, she might try once more. If you still don't respond, she's done. But if she keeps repeating it, looking over, holding eye contact, looking away, checking back, that's increasingly strong interest. She's practically begging you to approach. The duration of the eye contact also matters. 2 seconds is interest. 3 seconds is strong interest. 4+ seconds means she's really hoping you'll come over. The longer she holds it, the more social risk she's taking, which means the more interested she is. The presence or absence of a smile matters too. Eye contact with a smile is an even stronger signal than eye contact alone. She's actively encouraging you with a positive facial expression. Eye contact with a playful or shy smile is the absolute strongest version of this signal. Context matters. If she's with a large group of friends, sending this signal means she's interested enough to risk her friends noticing and possibly teasing her. That's higher investment than if she's alone or with one friend. Her social risk tolerance indicates her interest level. Physical positioning matters. If she repositions herself after the eye contact to be more accessible for an approach, moves to a less crowded area, separate slightly from her group, faces toward you, she's removing obstacles to make approaching easier. This is additional confirmation. The truly skilled men notice all of these layers and adjust their response accordingly. Strong signals get faster, more direct approaches. Moderate signals might get a second confirmation look before approaching. But regardless of signal strength, the response is still to approach. The only question is how quickly and directly. Let me give you another scenario that men also commonly miss. The proximity signal that often accompanies or replaces the eye contact signal. Sometimes women can't make direct eye contact because of social context or positioning, but they still want to signal interest. So they use proximity. They position themselves near you. They happen to be in your space repeatedly. They create opportunities for natural interaction. This looks like, she keeps walking past you. She positions herself at the bar right next to where you're standing, even though there's space elsewhere. She joins a conversation happening near you. She's in your line repeatedly at events. She's always in the same section of the gym at the same time as you. This is the physical version of the eye contact signal. She's saying, I'm making myself accessible. Notice me. Talk to me. And men miss this constantly because they think it's coincidence. Once is coincidence. Twice is coincidence. 3 times? That's intentional positioning. She's creating an opportunity for you to initiate. The response is the same. Acknowledge it. Act on it. I keep seeing you around. I figured I should actually introduce myself. I'm name. Simple, direct, honest about noticing the pattern without being weird about it. Women do this because it gives them plausible deniability. If you don't approach, they can tell themselves they weren't positioning intentionally. But if you do approach, they get the interaction they were engineering without having to initiate directly. Understanding both the eye contact signal and the proximity signal means you're catching 90% of the interest signals women send. Most men catch maybe 10%. This difference is massive in terms of opportunities created and connections made. Let me bring this home. The signal most men miss every time: extended eye contact, look away, look back. This is the universal female indicator of interest and readiness for an approach. Women send this signal clearly and consistently. Men miss it because they're not paying attention, don't understand what it means, or freeze when they see it. The correct response: hold the eye contact when she gives it. Immediately decide to approach. Walk over with confidence within 30 seconds. Introduce yourself simply and directly. Don't overthink it. Don't wait. Don't talk yourself out of it. See the signal, take action, create opportunity. The cost of acting is minimal, even if you're wrong. The cost of not acting when she's signaling is losing a connection she was actively trying to make with you. The calculation always favors action. Advanced understanding. Signal strength varies by duration, repetition, facial expression, context, and positioning. Stronger signals call for faster, more direct approaches, but all versions of the signal call for some action. Additional signals to watch for: proximity and positioning. When she's repeatedly in your space, She's creating an opportunity for natural interaction. Acknowledge the pattern and act on it. The Stoics taught about recognizing opportunity and taking action when it presents itself. This signal is women literally presenting opportunity to you. Your job is to recognize it, understand what it means, and act on it confidently. Start paying attention. Watch for the sequence. When you see it, act on it. Do this consistently, and watch how dramatically your success with women improves. Not because you're doing anything fancy, but simply because you're finally responding to signals that were being sent to you all along. Most men will keep missing this signal. They'll keep wondering why they can't meet women despite being around attractive women all the time. They'll keep ending up in the friend zone because they don't escalate when given green lights. But now you know. You know the signal. You know what it means. You know what to do when you see it. The only question is, will you actually do it? Will you act when you see it? Or will you keep missing opportunities because action requires courage? That choice is yours. But now you have no excuse for not knowing. The signal is clear. The response is simple. Start acting on it today.